Hi, this is Charlena with Weight Release, the New Thought Way. Yes, I'm wearing the same clothes because it's only been about 10 minutes. But I realized that tomorrow I will be out. I won't be home by 4 or 6. So it's best that I do the do this installment now. All right. So we left off with Louise Hay, but I'm going to continue on and go to spiritual chemicalization or spiritual awakening. Now, spiritual awakening is a realization of the big question, one of the big questions. Now, it's not a question like in A Room with a View, the big F, although it kind of is. So, say you were an agnostic and suddenly you realized for some reason somewhere in your thought process or talking to other people, you realized, wait a second, this God stuff kind of makes sense. Now, before you even got to that point where you would possibly voice it out loud, your mind would be wrestling with that. And a lot of times the wrestling it's like Job and the angel. You're wrestling and you're getting beaten up. There are physical things that are going on in your body that are just don't seem to be settling correctly. You might gain weight, um, you might break out in something, or you might just it's so much that you just have to sit down and meditate for a good hour or something. There's some, or even more tangible things. There might be something going on wrong in your finances, or um, uh, you might get into an accident. Usually it's not an accident, but something is going on in your life that's like trying to like slap you out of it. And really, it's about change. So, even say, for instance, you are going along, you're on some sort of diet. Maybe you're on the keto diet. You're on what was his name? You might be on a carb diet, which is actually kind of the keto diet. You might be on a Mediterranean diet. You might be on something else that is crazy, some other sort of diet, and you're going along and you're beginning to release weight, but then something stops you and you don't understand what's going on. You're just and you're doing all of the same things that you've been doing for maybe 6 months, or maybe it's only been 21 days or whatever. But you were releasing weight like that, and then it just stops dead in the tracks. And you're just like, what is going on? I don't understand. And maybe chemically your body is just reacting to whatever it is that you are putting in your body differently, or you're just doing something differently. Maybe your muscles are aching because you're doing movement that you had never done before. So the chemicalization is, or the spiritual awakening is a form is chemicalization. So a lot of times when people are having spiritual awakenings, they will tend to be hungry all the time, or believe that they are hungry because they're going through a painful change. They can't seem to, their bodies are reacting to what is going on with them emotionally. And either they eat food that they might normally not eat, but they'll have gotten a craving for something, and they start imbibing, and then they start to gain weight. And it seems as though, because now this may not have anything to do with releasing the weight or weight loss, it's just that you start to gain weight because you're 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 feeling pain, you're feeling emotional pain, and to assuage that emotional pain, you start to eat eat more, and then you gain weight. And it's a component of seeking comfort in something else when what is going on is usually emotionally. And if you um, during this course, you'll realize that again, I left you with the baggage and the unforgiveness. And if there's fear going on within your body, a lot of times you will eat instead of trying to find out, well, is this fear rational? Do I need this fear? Or what should I do in reality? All right. So now, all right. So I already told you about this. The course, this is just from my notes. The course says over the course of the course, the 6-week program it's an attempt, and it is successful in realizing our mind, and with the creator within, mind with a capital M, is getting back to zero. And that's from Joe Vitale and Professor Ihaliakala Lin, in reference to Ho'oponopono, which is the forgiveness prayer. So by doing the previous 6 weeks, and that's, you're, well, you will be doing, let me rephrase that. As each of the weeks progresses, you will be adding on, not stopping what you were doing previously, but adding on to what you're doing. And it sounds like it might take a long time, but it will not. I mean, it's a 6-week course, of course, obviously, but once you do, each new thing that you do seems like it might take a long time, but in reality, it does not. It just piles on top of each other, but it's not like the pile goes up, 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 and you have more and more stuff to do. It's just piling on top, and it becomes entwined in your psyche. So, in any case, so the affirmations take us farther into our beliefs of what and whose we are really. So that's kind of what I'm talking about, the piling on. It's more of you realizing what you can do, what your power is. And then we have the power words. I didn't do the power word for gratitude. I did it for prayer. I'll do that next week. That's what I'll do. All right. So and I'll tell you the power word tomorrow. I mean, I could tell you today, but no, I'll tell you tomorrow as when we go on to Wednesday. All righty. So what I wanted to also tell you is, during the chemicalization, you might realize a number of these. Like, you might realize what's in that bag that you're carrying, that baggage that you're carrying on your back, on your arms, or your inner thighs, your hips, your stomach, or your love handles, or wherever you carry it, your feet. It might be that you are carrying along in your bag of tricks guilt, of unforgiveness, revenge, hatred, anger, fear. I already mentioned self-righteousness yesterday, resentment, and any of those other emotions that kind of make your skin crinkle, or you get chills when you say them. I just got a whole batch of chills. So, and by my getting a whole batch of chills from just saying these words proves, and if you said them as well, I'm sure. In fact, I'm going to put them in. All right, so I'm going to say them one more time. Guilt, unforgiveness. I want you to say them once, don't keep saying them. And because I don't want you to think that I'm saying something airy fairy that just isn't true. I want you to feel what these words feel like to you. All righty. So I just really want you to, you know. All righty. So now I want you to also, oh, my time is already up now, but I can't leave you on that. I want you to be able to accept who you are and actually try and write yourself an affirmation of truth, and we'll talk about that more tomorrow. So for instance, a really good affirmation of truth is, here's one. It's really easy. I am the child of God, and I accept God's truth now. All right. So that's a definite statement of truth. If you don't want to say God, say divine one or divine principle or spirit with a capital S. However you allow God to language that we can understand, that states who and what God is. But we here in the U.S. call the divine one God. So have, and that you are blessed. And you can write that down below too, and then subscribe. But for now, this is Charlena with Weight Release, the New Thought Way, and I am signing off. Bye bye. This is for Tuesday.